What is up, Interisti around the world, brothers and sisters of the world? It's match day for Inter today. Fluminense in the Club World Cup, 3 p.m. local time, 9 p.m. Italian time kickoff, 8 p.m. for me here in the UK. It's going to be a good one. I don't know too much about Fluminense. They are, of course, qualified to the next stage against us. These Brazilian teams have probably been some of the most impressive teams in the whole tournament. I'm not sure why in this predicted lineup they don't have Thiago Silva starting here. Is there a reason for that? I'm not sure. Maybe it's inaccurate. But apart from Thiago Silva, I actually don't know any player from the Fluminense team, which doesn't mean that they're not good or bad, but it's just I can't offer my opinion on this. Of course, we just got to do our job. Play. This predicted lineup is probably wrong. It won't be said by Esposito. It probably will be Marcus Thuram who makes a return, but he's not fully fit. So it is either Marcus Thuram or Seb Esposito, unless Kivu opts for Valentin Carboni as a potential option around Lautaro Martinez. We've had some injury news. Frattesi's gone back to Italy. He confirmed on his own Instagram story that it's a problem he's been carrying since the Barcelona game. So long issue that Frattesi's had, niggling injury that we know throughout the season. Frattesi's not been super reliable, to be honest, but this particular problem he's been carrying since Barcelona game. So hopefully that gets rectified, but he's the one be partaking. We know Hakan has already gone off. We're going to talk about Hakan because the Hakan novela continues. We know Pavard is out. We know Bisek is out. We know Zielinski is out. So the choices for Kivu are pretty limited. And I hope to see more of Sucic again, as I keep saying, but it looks like Kivu is going to continue with the usual midfield. And that should be good enough to take us to the next round, which could be either Al Hilal, our old boy Inzaghi, get some revenge, or Pep and his $1 billion boys that spends billions every summer. That's also revenge. We haven't played them since that time. They beat us in the Champions League final. So who would you like if we go past Fluminense? I'm not going to look past them if we go past Fluminense. And of course, there's a lot of money on the line as well to qualify to the next stage. But anyway, let's get into today's actual topic, guys. We haven't been doing match previews, so I feel like, today's match day, I needed to give you a quick little match preview. But the reason why I turned my laptop on and turned the camera on today is to speak about the Hakan Calhanoglu saga, which is starting to get annoying. It's starting to get on my tits. It's starting to get really grinding my teeth, because if it doesn't get resolved soon, I feel like it's going to drag on all summer. I want this thing to be resolved ASAP. Let's go through some of the reports that are coming out currently, translated by Sempre Inter. So Galatasaray to ramp up the chase for Hakan this week after player green lights move. So we know we can't. It's not been 100% confirmed, but all the murmurings and everything coming out of Hakan's camp is pointing towards that he is wanting this Galatasaray move, regardless of whether they can stump up Inter's asking price. So let's see what it says here. According to Turkish outlet Sabah, I have no idea if this is a reliable outlet or not. They report that the former AC Milan midfielder has already given his green light to the move. Certainly no doubt that Galatasaray are keen to sign him. There are reports that the Istanbul Giants have already approached the 31-year-old. They've made it clear to the player that they are ready to offer him a contract we know is probably something around 10 million, which is probably net, because in Turkey they don't have to pay as much tax. So he's going to be earning more than he earns at Inter. And it's his home. I know, especially in Italian media, they're saying Hakan is returning home, but actually he was born in Germany, grew up in Germany. He has Turkish heritage. He's not really returning home because he's a Turkish, is born and bred in Germany, but of course his status, his everything associated with him is with the Turkish national team, with being Turkish. So in a way, it is a homecoming. It would be. So according to Sabah, Galatasaray expect Inter to hold out for around 30 million. So already the price has gone down. We started off a few weeks back. It was Inter won 40 million euros, 30 million euros. I can see this, guys. I think we can all see this where it's going, right? It's going to be the whole Brozovic thing again. I'm not going to keep go back about my video where I predicted that, oh, this is a new Brozovic situation to get boring. But in the end, when Al Nasser that signed Brozovic, it started off around, was it 25 million euros, and it went to 23. It was agreed, and then somehow by the end of the deal, it ended up being like 17 million euros, 18 million euros, like for Brozovic, who at the time still was a top CDM regista in the world. And that is because Inter, because of the age factor, because of the salary, and it's the same thing here with Hakan. Hakan is earning a lot of money, 6.5 million net, which is around 11 million gross salary, and he's 31, getting 32. These injuries, these niggling injuries, and if he doesn't want to stay at the club, if he's not fully focused on Inter, not ready to go 110% into next season to redeem the season, then it just makes sense to sell the guy. But I can just see this happening in front of our eyes, that Inter are not going to get anywhere near what they want from Galatasaray. Because we know these Turkish teams, they offer a lot of money in terms of salaries, but they won't pay big in terms of transfer fee. And that is exactly what the report says here. After making the proposal, to the 31-year-old, he has decided he wants to join. Therefore, Sabah anticipate Galatasaray is planning to have Calhanoglu to go to Inter and ask for the transfer. That way, the Nerazzurri could feel open to lowering the demands a bit on the fee. Calhanoglu could ask his current club to meet Galatasaray somewhere in the middle of the negotiations. The Turkish club is set to make the move sometime this week. And there has been, rumors that Hakan has already initiated contact with Marotta and the directors to start, making this move happen, which is, again, just get this done so we can focus on trying to get his replacement. Hakan has been fantastic for us, one of the best signings of this past decade. Free transfer from our cousins Milan. Initially as a mezzala, did okay there, but as a CDM, did really, really well. Last season, not so well, but still, was important for us. The previous season, maybe even MVP. If we can shake hands, at least not let him leave on a free or, on bad terms like we did with Skriniar. At least try to get more than we did with Brozovic and find the right replacement. That would be perfect. Next report, and this is another reason why I find this saga annoying, this Hakan telenovela that's developing. The lack of clear denials fueling the rumors, basically. Last season when there was rumors of Bayern Munich and there was offer on the table from Bayern Munich, Hakan came out and posted on his Instagram, came out in an interview. He says, I want to stay at Inter. When there was the Saudi rumors, he said, nah, I got together with the club. I want to stay at Inter. We rejected all offers. At the moment, nothing is coming out of the Hakan camp, and that silence is what's annoying me, because it kind of shows that all these reports coming out of Turkey are probably true, and it's annoying a lot of Interisti as well. And we know, obviously, a guy that leaves Milan to join Inter, on a free transfer, obviously he's not going to be known for his loyalty as well, is he? So yeah, this report is from Tutto Sport. So yeah, I know this is probably not super reliable unless it's from Simone Togna, who is Inter specialist. There are reports that the Turkish giants have already approached the 31-year-old. They made it clear to the player they're ready for a firm offer. Galatasaray have not made an offer to Inter. This is the thing. So Marotta also said there's not been any official offer yet. But they know Inter won't let Calhanoglu go for cheap. The 31-year-old recovery from an injury picked up during the Champions League. This has caused him to miss the entirety of the Club World Cup. And that's the thing. Throughout this Club World Cup, so he's been on holiday now because of this injury. And there's been, rumors coming out. So he's gone to there's a barber that he's seeing, and this barber's posted an Instagram story or a post that says, I asked Hakan about this, and he's saying like, oh, I hope to make my move to Galatasaray. Apparently he was at some wedding yesterday or the day before, and there he gave some sort of speech that said, I'm not sure what's happening to me next year. God willing, everything works out well. Like, just everything is really pointing towards Hakan not being, very clear or being outright in what he wants, but starting to plant the seeds of wanting to leave. And we know, if you know Beppe Marotta's history as a football director and CEO at Juve, at Inter, he only keeps players that want to stay at Inter. And that should be the case for all players. You have to be committed and wanting to stay. All of these signs to me are pointing towards a guy whose head is has been already kind of shifted. His desire is clearly towards going to Turkey, his home country, earning big money, finishing out his career as, massive star that he is over there. Continuing with the report, isn't clear whether Istanbul Giants will make an offer of over 15 million to Inter in addition to the 10 million net per season. So again, Brozovic flashbacks once again. The Nerazzurri will certainly want a minimum of 35, 40. However, Tuttosport have no official deniers from either Inter or Calhanoglu. This is in contrast to last summer when he put rumors of buying to definitive rest. And then the last report we're going to look at is that Galatasaray are divided behind the scenes on the Hakan pursuit. So this is coming out of Italian outlets, IFC Inter News. Let's see what it says. So they report that Hakan hasn't asked for a transfer yet, despite some reports indicating as much. Behind the scenes report that Galatasaray Vice President Hatipoglu is pushing for a move for Hakan, as well as Manchester City's İlkay Gundogan. On the other hand, another Galatasaray Vice President, Abdullah Kavukcu, has already moved on to other targets. Kavukcu feels that a move for Calhanoglu is not realistic, so he's not going to waste time on it. In the end, everything could very well come down to the decision of the president, Dursun Özbek. Özbek could keep pushing to try and make the transfer happen. But yeah, regardless of what Galatasaray want to do, this needs to be sorted out quick. If you follow the news, if you haven't, I'll give you a quick report on the replacement ideas at the moment. It's Nicolo Rovella apparently is the favorite, but Lazio want 50 million, the release clause, or nothing, no cash plus player, no Aslani, no 30, 40 million, 50 million euros, which I think is outrageous, to be honest, overpriced. But in the end, you might have to just overpay to make sure you get the guy that you want. Whether it's the guy I want, I do like Rovella, but I'm not sure I would pay 50 million euros for Rovella, because Milan just signed Samuele Ricci for around 25 million euros. Ricci is not half, or Rovella isn't double the player of Ricci. So there's that. And then there's rumors of Ederson from Atalanta, who you guys know I like very much, even before he went to Atalanta at Salernitana. And he's developed both sides to his game. I don't know if he could be a regista in a 3-5-2 in a deep line position. I see him more as a double pivot, like he plays at Atalanta, up and down, but a dueling monster. There's other names like Stiller and other guys out there. Some people want Alexander Stankovic to take over from him. I don't know if he's ready. But the importance is we need to give Kivu, already he's going to have a short preseason because of the Club World Cup. He needs to have his starters, his starting 11, his fulcrum. If he wants to play a 3-5-2, that CDM needs to be delivered to Christian Kivu, because otherwise you're shafting him. You're shafting him up the, if you're telling him to start a preseason without his starting regista and continuing to have Aslani there, which we know is not the starter for this Inter team. So Hakan, Inter, Marotta, Galatasaray, get down on the table, negotiate the fee. Nothing below 20 million euros. Come on, surely at least 25, 30 million euros has to be it. But as I said, I see the signs are all there for us to getting shafted and getting only minimal fee for Hakan. But his big salary coming off the wages, his injury issues at his age is probably potentially the smart move to make now, but it all depends on who the replacement will be. You guys let me know your thoughts on his Hakan novela, your thoughts on all this and the Fluminense game as well. Are we going to win? Are we not? Do you care? Do you not? And who would you want to replace Hakan with? Let me know in the comments down below. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Always, Forza Inter.